Pokemon Scarlet and Violet leaked, so we know a lot of information about the upcoming Pokemon and what they can do in battle. This video is going to contain heavy spoilers on Pokemon that aren't officially revealed yet, but I'm assuming you clicked this video knowing that. If you want to see more Scarlet and Violet competitive content, that big subscribe button is waiting to be pressed. Press it right now and your starter will literally be shiny, even though they're shiny locked, but don't tell anyone that. The Pokemon we're going to be covering today is Chien-Pao, aka Weavile's big brother, and one of the easiest new Pokemon to use and understand. Chien-Pao is a dark and ice type Pokemon with a very offensive stat build and an ability that complements its offensive nature. It's one of the fastest Pokemon introduced in Generation 9, tying with the legendaries Miraidon and Koraidon. Chien-Pao's core design allows for wall breaking and sweeping combined, with a typing akin to Weavile, one of the most dominant Pokemon in Sword and Shield's OU metagame. Chien-Pao's Dark and Ice typing makes it weak to Bug, Fairy, Fire, Rock, and Steel, as well as being 4 times weak to fighting. It resists Dark, Ghost, and Ice, while sporting an immunity to Psychic and any moves affected by Prankster, thanks to its Dark typing. Ice types receive a buff in Generation 9, getting a defense increase when Snow is active, and Snow is the weather that replaces Hail in Scarlet and Violet. Offensively speaking, Chien-Pao does not miss the mark on many relevant typings. The most meta-relevant types that resist its type are Dark Steel, Fairy Steel, Water Fighting, Fire Dark, Firefighting, and Chien-Pao's own Dark and Ice type. Most of these typings are covered by a very powerful attack in Chien-Pao's move pool, so you don't really need to worry. Chien-Pao's ability is Sword of Ruin, an ability that acts as a debuff to every Pokemon's defense stat bar itself. This effect, similar to Xerneas and Yveltal's Fairy and Dark Aura respectively, lasts as long as Chien-Pao is on the field. This means that switching out to another Pokemon will not rid you of a defense debuff. Your entire team has weakened defense as long as Chien-Pao is in battle. This can act as a bit of a double-edged sword in double battles, as it even affects your own teammates, but this is a video for singles competitive. Chien-Pao's signature move is Ruination, a dark type attack with 90% accuracy that cuts the opposing Pokemon's health in half. Think of it as a dark type Super Fang or Nature's Madness. It has limited use on Chien-Pao, as its powerful attacks aided by Sword of Ruin will likely be doing around the same amount of damage or more, but it doesn't lack use. Chien-Pao's stats make it an absolute monster offensively. 80 HP, 120 attack, 80 defense, 90 special attack, 65 special defense, and 135 speed. The only other new Pokemon that it's slower than is Iron Bundle, future form of Delibird. It's on the same level of speed as Koraidon, Miraidon, and Fluttermane, the past form of Mischievous. Now, do not make the mistake of undervaluing its 120 attack. Remember, its ability Sword of Ruin causes all Pokemon around it to have worsened defense. So for example, a max defense Clefable will reach 269 defense. Sword and Ruin active, Clefable's defense plummets to 180, which would be nearly equivalent to running 0 defensive investment at all. Chien-Pao's biggest weakness is its paper-thin defenses, failing to survive many high-damage attacks, just like Weavile. How detrimental is that weakness where you're faster than 90% of the offensive Pokemon in the game anyway? I mean, let's just take a look at Chien-Pao's optimal movesets. The first build is a Swords Dance variant. The item of choice is Heavy Duty Boots. Life Orb and Focus Sash can make for fine substitutes, former bringing more power at the cost of increased fragility, and the latter being useless if Chien-Pao takes even a hint of chip damage. The most ideal moveset for you will likely be Icicle Crash, Crunch, Sacred Sword, and Swords Dance. Icicle Crash can be replaced by Ice Spinner, a move with 5 less power, 10% more accuracy, and the ability to move terrain instead of the 30% chance to flinch. Crunch can be replaced by Sucker Punch, a move with 10 less power, but one that has increased priority against Pokemon that are using an attacking move. This is useful for picking off the few offensive Pokemon faster than you, like Dragapult, Regieleki, or Pokemon with the Choice Scarf item. Sacred Sword is extremely helpful coverage, but if you desire Crunch and Sucker Punch, you can use Sucker Punch in its place. You're going to want maximum speed and maximum attack. Investing in defensive stats holds little benefit to Chien-Pao unless there is a specific one-hit KO move that you wish to avoid. A Jolly Nature is preferred, as the speed difference lets you outpace anything from base 119 speed to base 135 speed. Adamant, it's got some merit though, increasing your odds of one-shotting a max defense Clefable with just one Swords Dance from 25% to 75%. This set performed best on more offensive-oriented team compositions. You can switch less, and you're able to overwhelm the opposing team with both Chien-Pao and its teammates. Swords Dance Chien-Pao can punch holes into their team or act as a cleaner in the mid to late game, depending on the matchup. Favorite teammates will be Pokemon that can weaken anything to resist or at least be neutral against its combination of Ice, Dark, and Fighting type attacks. The only types that fully resist those three are Fire Fairy and Water Fairy, but no Pokemon with those typings are in Scarlet and Violet currently outside of Azumarill. The most threatening Pokemon hit neutrally are Magearna, Urshifu Rapid Strike, Clefable, Skarmory, and some newly introduced Pokemon like Screamtail, Jigglypuff's Psychic and Fairy past form. Magnezone is going to be a very useful partner Pokemon to trap and eliminate annoying Steel-type Pokemon. The next build is one with Choice Band as its item of choice. You want 4 attacks, as using status-based moves like Taunt is nearly pointless with Choice Band. The moves on the Choice Band set are as follows: Icicle Crash, Punch, Sacred Sword, and Ice Shard. Ice Spinner is once again a viable option over Icicle Crash if you prefer its consistent accuracy over the slight difference in power. Icicle Crash's biggest advantage is really its 30% chance to flinch. With just a Choice Band, Skarmory is 2-hit KO'd. A flinch would literally guarantee that Skarmory loses 1v1 from full HP. Adamant Icicle Crash also 2-hit KOs Magearna sets with Zero Bolt after Stealth Rock, meaning you're not forced to click Sacred Sword if you suspect the Magearna is a more offensive build. Ice Shard can be replaced by Sucker Punch if your team benefits more from the Dark type priority, but Ice Shard is by far more consistent as a move to be choice locked into. Max attack and speed will have you set up once again. Adamant Nature may have a slight preference here for the additional power, especially if you opt for Ice Spinner. Jolly takes full use of Chien-Pao's Blazing Speed stat and can allow you to sweep frailer and slower teams with ease. Pair Chien-Pao with Pokemon that can remove hazards as it's weak to Stealth Rock. Corviknight will make for a prime teammate, having Defog and U-Turn to bring Chien-Pao into battle safely. Slowking and Slowking Galar are also great teammates, being able to use the new move Chilly Reception to summon Snow and switch into Chien-Pao without taking damage. This, in tandem with Future Sight, will pressure any bulkier Pokemon that tries to switch in to bandit Chien-Pao even further than before. The last build is a Choice Scarf set. Chien-Pao takes its ridiculous speed to even greater heights, outspeeding Pokemon that boost their speed in attempts to sweep. In combination with Sword of Ruin, this makes Chien-Pao a deadly late-game sweeper. It has a weaker matchup against bulkier builds, but shines brilliantly against more offensive-oriented teams that have frailer defensive backbones. You're going to want these moves on Choice Scarf Chien-Pao: Icicle Crash, Crunch, Sacred Sword, and Psychic Fangs. Icicle Crash can be removed for Ice Spinner. Psychic Fangs is a great coverage option, 2-hit KOing even in max defense Toxapex. It can be replaced with priority moves like Ice Shard and Sucker Punch, or even a move like Ruination, the move that halves the target's HP. This move is not completely helpful on Choice Scarf, but it can be used to dent anything attempting to switch into Chien-Pao, forcing it to recover as you switch to the appropriate teammate. This is important because all 50% recovery moves in Scarlet and Violet have 8 power points now. Max attack and speed with an Adamant Nature is almost certainly the best route to take. The Adamant Nature's boost ensures that Psychic Fangs 2-hit KOs Toxapex instead of it being left to a 70% damage roll. Jolly is not without utility though, allowing Chien-Pao to outpace Roaring Moon, past form Salamence with base 119 speed after a Dragon Dance. Magnezone is likely to be Chien-Pao's most common partner. You trap Steel-type Pokemon such as Skarmory and Magearna, which will otherwise have little trouble walling Choice Scarf Chien-Pao. Magnezone will struggle more against Magearna obviously, but any damage that you deal is important. Powerful wall breakers also make for great teammates, paving the way for Choice Scarf Chien-Pao to sweep the opponent's weakened Pokemon. So, what do I think of Chien-Pao? Incredibly easy to use, amazing offensive typing, nearly impossible to wall thanks to its Sword of Ruin ability, one of the fastest Pokemon available in the game, solid variety of highly viable movesets with different uses and differing forms of counterplay. Whatever you want out of a Dark or Ice type Pokemon, you'll get it out of Chien-Pao, and it's Weavile's dad. I'm curious to see Chien-Pao's power in real battles, which will be possible very soon on Pokemon Showdown. But as for now, I can say with near certainty that this new Pokemon is going to be banned and sent straight to Ubers. These are my first impressions. Let me know yours. Tell me what kind of new Pokemon you want to see me review next, and keep your eyes peeled for more Scarlet and Violet competitive content on this channel. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you like what you see from the channel. That's about it.